Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. How you doing, man?
Doing great. I just came off a little vacation on Chuseok. How was your Chuseok, Tasteless?
I had a great little Chuseok, taking some time off, and I'm glad to be back here casting some Starcraft 2 for all you guys. If you haven't noticed, we have a new setup here at the studio.
Yeah.
And I think it looks better than the one before. We have more people down here today than I think we've ever had before. Yeah, more than even TLO's games.
A sick amount of people, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So give us some feedback online. Let us know if you like the new look. I think it definitely suits having more people show up here. So we are finally at the round of 16.
That's it. That went quick, Tasteless.
Yeah.
I mean, we cast a lot of games, but that was a quick run up to the round of 16. And now all we have left are awesome matches.
Yeah, no kidding. Imagine this, guys. This tournament started out with thousands and thousands of players. We're finally down to 16. That's pretty remarkable. I mean, when I did the GOMTV the GOMTV Classic, that was the largest StarCraft 1 tournament as far as people participating. This is like 100 times bigger. So it's really exciting to see when you get this many people who's actually left over.
Yeah, it's huge, and we're going to have a lot of great players today. Cool, one of them, the best Zerg left in the tournament, one of the only Zergs left in the tournament.
Yeah.
That should be a pretty fun match. We also have Maka Prime playing, one of the best players, one of the favorites. We have a lot of great players. The first match actually is one that might be very, very good. Next LiveForever against Ro.16 Prime, the guy who took out Hydra.
Yeah, Ro.16 Prime, maybe not the most popular guy since eliminating Hydra, but he did play very well, in his games, and I think it's going to be a pretty even match compared to some of our other matches.
Yeah, it could be quite a good match. Ro.16 showed a lot of skills against Hydra, played really well with the pressure game when he snuck that expansion. But next LiveForever, he's a good Terran. I actually have a lot of respect for him from all the times I played him on the ladder. And I know he played pretty poorly in the first round of 64, and then he got better in the round of 32. And I think he's just going to get better in the round of 16 as well.
I think he had those jitters. Like from a lot of these players are new to pro gaming. Maybe they followed StarCraft 1, but since with the GSL, you can tune in, or anybody can join in. Basically, we have all these new guys coming in here. You too at home, by the way, can play. You just come down here. Be sure to sign up on time, but you come down here. You can be one of the people in the booth. But yeah, some of these new guys getting a little bit nervous in the booth. I can relate to that. Having experience as a pro gamer myself of just getting a little bit nervous the first time I'm actually playing and realizing that everybody's watching me. But we've seen some less sloppy games as we move forward to each phase of the tournament. So I think this round's going to be better than anything we've seen before.
It is, and everyone knows that because even more people just flooded in.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're actually going to use up every single chair.
We're going to be out of chairs.
And people are going to be standing. People are going to be sitting on my lap watching. It is going to get crazy here. And I mean, I can't actually believe this.
Just watching my screen. Yeah, it's actually, I'm dead serious. Like, I think about 20 more people just flooded into the studio.
Yeah, I'm so surprised.
So this is awesome, and we hope there's a ton of guys online right now. Looks like we got a brief shot.
The players that got through: 7 Protoss, 7 Terran, and 2 poor Zerg warriors. We have Ro.16 Prime. Let's see. Let's count it: 1 Prime, 2 Prime, 3 Prime, 4 Prime. Okay, against 1 OGS, 2 OGS, 3 OGS, 4 OGS. Wow.
Let's not forget about the TSL members.
That's right. We got 3 TSL members. We have Legal Mind, 1 Zenith member. And, 2 teamless. It's pretty interesting, the team distribution.
Yeah, it is. It's quite interesting.
Prime, OGS, and TSL all way up there.
Yeah.
The funny part being TSL has 3 members, all 3 in this, obviously. And
TSL is just such a solid team. Now, here's the brackets for the round of 16, day number 1. We already went over some of this, but let's talk about it again. Ro.16 Prime, the person who eliminated EG Hydra, my teammate, against next LiveForever. LiveForever, one of the few next players left.
Yeah.
I'd probably put them, if we had to put tiers, I'd put them in kind of a tier 2 Korean team. So he's really pushing for them. Maka Prime, you should know who this guy is because he's probably one of the most well-known Korean players out there. Maka are going to be against Legal Mind. That might be pretty tough for Legal Mind.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. A fruit dealer, perhaps the fruit dealer.
Yeah, man. Cool himself.
Yeah.
Monster Zerg player going up against the best OGS player, top, also Terran player. recently Cool has said publicly that he wins 10% of his practice games against Terran Protoss because it is that hard.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if he can overcome Top. He's got a lot more experience. And that should actually be a really good match, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And finally, we got San Zenith against OGS Inca. Now, Inca is the guy that had that sick cannon rush.
Yeah.
That was totally badass.
You're still talking to me about that almost every day,
I'm still wiggling
man.
about that. I just can't get over how awesome that is. So this is going to be a tough match for San Zenith, who I think has probably had a slightly easier time getting through these brackets than some of these other guys. Now, that's not to show any disrespect to San Zenith. I mean, you get to the final 16 in a tournament this big, you're definitely really good.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a tough match for him against Inca. Inca also one of the highest-ranked OGS players.
Inca's PvP is pretty stellar, so
I really am impressed
agree
with
you
it.
there.
Yeah.
But our first match, of course, Lotse Prime beat Hydra. I was a little bit upset, of course, but he played well. He did some good tricks. He realized he was behind. He took the proper risks, and it paid off for him.
Yeah.
And by the way, the preliminary registration from the 25th of September through the 3rd of October. And definitely, if you can be in Korea for October 9th or 10th, do it.
Yeah, definitely do it. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I have to say this. If you are a player, let's take, for instance, from Ukraine, maybe you need a letter from GOMTV in order to run that by your embassy or something like that, in order to get here in time and stuff. We can help you with that. So just notify us on GOMTV.net. We want to have as many people out here playing as possible. So we know it's not as easy for different people in different parts of the world to get down here. So I just want to let you guys know, let us know if you need any additional help, and we'll do that for you.
Absolutely.
They just told me right before there, because, we love seeing a diverse group of people playing here at GOMTV.
Absolutely, man. We want the best from all over the world. It is the global StarCraft 2 league.
Yes.
So pretty important to actually have people from around the globe playing. It's going to have to turn into KSL,
That's
Korean
right. That's right.
StarCraft 2 league. Don't want that.
I see even more people actually filtered in here. We've actually completely run out of chairs. This is the record for the amount of people here in the GOMTV studio. Pretty soon here we're going to introduce our players. Now, look, I know this is a pretty even match, but if you personally had to bet on one of these guys, who would you bet on?
Next Live Forever.
Next Live Forever?
I still don't think he played really well in the last round, the round of 32. The round of 64, he's a little bit iffy. But he's actually really great. If you play against him online, he's not even really gimmicky. He's just really, really strong player.
Just solid play.
So I think that I would have to definitely bet on him. Lotse, he showed some good moves. He showed some good decision-making. But he was clearly a step below Hydra. Just had to, kind of trick him out.
Well, he had a hidden expansion. If I had spotted that, the game would have been over. But, of course, a win is a win. And he did move on. Actually, I was going to say the same thing. I think Next Live Forever, maybe with a slight advantage here. So I guess we can't do another $1 bet.
No,
in fact, I never gave you the $1 for the last
you didn't.
game we bet
I'm
on.
not betting with you
that's
anymore,
right. I didn't even bring my wallet to work that day.
Yeah.
So as soon as we can, we're going to get these players on screen. Now, Prime, they have a lot of members on their team. They have a lot of people that have made it this far. So let's see if we can have some more of them move through here. Here's Lotse now.
Yeah, man, Lotse Prime. He did play well. There's nothing I can say about it. He had some really tricky build orders planned. Via Check, his teammate, a really strategical Zerg player, let him know how to crush Hydra. It worked out for him at the end of the day, and he advanced. So what else can I say, man? He's a good Protoss, but he might have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, this is going to be probably his toughest match yet. I mean, Hydra was pretty tough, but of course, Next Live Forever, also a very solid player. As you can see, he did go 2-1 against both of his opponents in the round of 64 and the round of 32. So he definitely didn't have an easy way moving through this tournament thus far.
Yeah, the guy he played in the first round, Golem JH, we didn't know who he was at the time. Turned out he was Breeze Akuta, a very famous StarCraft 1 pro from like 2002-ish. He used to play with that guy a lot. He was very, very good. Look at that.
And
How
as you
many
can
people?
see, so many people in here.
Crazy amounts. A lot of non-Koreans
stuffed in here. If there's a fire, everybody's going to die. The studio is packed. We got Next Live Forever. As you can see here, he is one of the last guys from Next.
Yeah.
So the entire Next team has been working together to get this guy a solid build. Now that is an advantage that Next has over Prime right now because Prime, it's a big team. I mean, it's got so many members, but at least with the Next team, they can all focus their efforts together to try to get this guy to squeeze through.
Yeah, and he's got some great Protoss practice partners. Next, one of the best Protoss-based teams, Next Genius, for instance. absolutely astoundingly good Protoss ex-CJ programmer, so I'm sure he practiced a lot with him. And, practice partners are a lot of what makes or breaks you.
That's
and, of
true.
course, Lotzi being in Prime would also have Maka on his side, but Maka had his own match to prepare for. It's two great players going at it. And as we said, we're both thinking it's going to be next LiveForever.
Yeah, I think he might be the favorite. But, Lotzi surprised us. He did beat Hydra, which I honestly did not expect coming. I know Hydra did not. When he was on his way to the studio, he thought it was going to be pretty easy. So let's see if, he could surprise us again. Upsets are a part of any tournament. And we've seen some already.
It exciting, man. If there were no upsets, this would be Quake 3. All right. Here we go. The maps. We have first set Delta Quadrant, then Lost Temple, and then Kulas Ravine. Lotse removes Scrap Station, Steps of War. Next LiveForever removes Desert Oasis and Blistering Sands. Let's see here.
None of those, the maps they excluded really shock me.
Yeah, Scrap Station kind of makes sense. Terrans can really harass on there. Steps of War, it's so close that they can push over in 2 seconds with their tanks. And then for, obviously, I don't know why Next Forever removed Desert Oasis. That's the only one that I'm a little bit I don't know.
I don't know. Desert Oasis does require a different playstyle. Looks like we're going to get this started. Let's go. Well, those are two ferocious-looking players.
Yeah.
As I've ever seen them. Here we go. Now going over to the left side of our screen, of our map, we have Lotse Prime. Over here at the upper right. There is
Next LiveForever.
Said LiveForever.
Next LiveForever. All right. Okay, so we got Lotse Prime over here. Nobody sent out anything early. So we're not going to see proxy shenanigans, anything like that, which we did see. By the way, if I could take just a brief break here. If you haven't seen a game, and there's a game you got to check out, please check out TLO's first game.
Yeah, totally epic.
In the most epic game, I think, of the entire tournament.
Yeah.
I won't give any spoilers, but check that out, because that was, I believe, in my own opinion, the best StarCraft 2 game of all time up to now.
It very well may have been.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out, for those of you who have not watched any StarCraft in the past couple of days, there has been a patch, 1.1, and they changed some things, including the production tab bar. You actually see how far along the things are. They have a little progress bar if you can see that.
Check it out right there.
It's pretty cool, so you can keep an eye on that and be like, uh-oh, he's attacking, 7 roaches are being made. Will they be made in time? And you just look at the bar and you can know.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty awesome. So Blizzard continuing to improve this game,
yeah,
which is already basically perfect.
Yeah, totally. Well,
unless you're a Zerg player, they're still patching that. But I mean, everything else, it's such an amazing game. Now we got Gateway on the way here. Nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Standard build orders. It seems like in this matchup we don't see anything too crazy until that Cybernetics core finishes or the Barracks finish.
Yeah, you really can't either unless they're going to proxy. And David's out of the tournament, so maybe that's all we've seen of that.
That's right. David's games as short as his interviews. We still have people streaming into the studio. I'm actually really impressed with how many people are in here today. Sorry, I keep talking about it, but
they are wheeling in another TV so that everyone can see. It's pretty amazing.
By the way, we do hope the observing is improved. I have been taking my lessons from the official GOMTV Korean Observer, $300 an hour.
I know, man. It's so expensive.
It's tough, but he's the best.
He knows he's worth it. He just puts himself at the price he knows he can get.
Now you can see Lotzi's probe didn't get in there, so he's not going to see what his opponent's up to. And actually, as I scroll over here, double barracks play and a reactor.
Nice,
so I think we
reactor.
might see some type of push at the front of his base.
Yeah.
Lots of Marines out there.
Yeah, it's cool that he's getting the reactor so fast. It's definitely going to be very Marine heavy. But, that the Sentry obviously going to be a very useful unit against that.
Now here's the SCV. Protoss is probably the easiest race to scout unless you decide to mine minerals. Okay. I don't know why you did that, but it is the easiest race to scout. Normally you want to keep it alive until the Sentry pops out.
That's right. And as that SCV dies, He makes that Robotics facility. That's why you got to keep the SCV alive.
Yeah.
He could know right now that if there's a Robotics facility, or Lotse could have, of course, stalled it, but he didn't keep it alive, and there's no reason to lose that SCV before a ranged unit is out.
Now he's going for Marauders. Now we have seen players rush the ramp before. That seems to be actually quite a common build, at least in the GSL, but I've experienced it when I do play Protoss online. People doing this. Now, you can, of course, use a Sentry's force field to block the ramp right here, but then the force field wears off, and all of a sudden you walk up there and you kill him. So the trick is to micro right down here like this and intimidate him into doing a premature force field, because if you're really good, you're going to get a force field that's in the middle of the army. That way the Protoss forces can take him out. Meanwhile, oh my god, I'm speaking too soon. He's already about to attack, so let's see if this rush is effective.
Very nice timing here. Doesn't want to get his stuff cut in half. Lotse has to be very careful when he force fields.
He did split it.
Yeah, he misses a little bit there. And the units are going to get up, and this could spell trouble here. The concussive shells are already done for the Marauder. And you can't run away from Marauder's concussive shells, man.
Now, he has an Immortal on the way. The Immortal is critical for holding off this Marauder, because right now the Protoss units are just going to be too weak. He's going to get a bunch of probes over here and try to loop around, bringing Zealots right next to the army here as he continues to micro back. And it seems like he didn't actually reinforce. There's a bunch of guys over here. They're pacifists, apparently.
A little bit of sloppy play there. Look at that. Very nice.
Very solid
Gets that
play.
last Marauder, and he should have an Immortal out pretty quickly.
There he is.
Yeah, he has that Immortal. So he's going to feel a lot more comfortable now, trying to block this off.
Factory is done now. He's staying pretty heavy on one base. Neither player has destroyed the destructible debris. The rocks in the back of the base.
Oh, look at that. It's not destructible rocks, it's destructible debris.
It's destructively debris. As we see the starport on the way. Terran's army not looking too shabby, but I don't think he handled himself correctly during that rush. He should have reinforced it.
You know, he got a few units, got a few probes.
As you can see, the Observer scouting. He wants to check and see if there's an expansion. There is none. He stays heavy one base. He's going to go for Colossus out of his Robo Bay and get a third gateway.
Yeah. You know, it's a pretty safe play against the multiple Marines and Marauder. Obviously, you want to have the Colossus out to deal a lot of splash damage to those units. And look at this, a Marine.
A scouting Marine. That's interesting.
Yeah, look at this. A couple Stalkers going over to hit this. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I know this could be unwise.
In fact, it was a terrible idea.
And Stalker's life was in vain.
It was to damage that supply depot. I don't think
that was not worth it, I think. Here comes the Colossus on the way out now. He's charging it out. Or chrono boosting it out, excuse me.
I like charging chrono charge.
Chrono charge.
Yeah, that's the way I like it.
Chrono trigger. We got the Observer. Now he sees this little blur moving around. I'm surprised he didn't scan and kill it, because Terran is in the dark. Then again, a scan is worth 1 mule.
Yeah, that's about 300 minerals right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of minerals. It's a command center almost.
And we got musical chairs going on here with the buildings. He's going to do a swap. And that's smart. It looks like he might have done a scan.
And here we go, the drop ship. Will it be taken out?
Oh! 20 HP. Is there anything? He warps in a Starcraft here. Scan sees it, so he probably will not engage.
Yeah, there's a Colossus out as well.
He might as well just fly out into space and leave this map. I would not want to be this dropship right now.
Bring him to that planet, man. Looks much safer than up
land
here.
Down there.
Even if it's Jupiter, you have a higher chance of living.
Well, it looks like he is going to make it all the way around. Now, I want to point out that he did do a very effective scan, and now he's going to crank out Vikings. But you can see he's actually been supply blocked temporarily here. So that's going to be one less Viking than what he would have wanted to get.
Looks like he wants to take out that destructible debris. But, you know, right now he's getting combat shields. He has stim, he has concussive shells, he has a lot of barracks. He definitely wants to kill off of one base. But, you know, with enough Colossus being made by Lotse, I feel like he's just going to end up falling behind.
As you can see, he's actually got his whole army parked back here. He suspects that, in fact, the dropship is somewhere over here.
It's not.
It's not. It's actually gone all the way around the map. Now, you got to be careful. It could be unwise to do dropship play against somebody who's using one base, because there's just not enough room.
It's quite true. You know, you need a lot of locations to be out there, so he's thinly covered and can't really, you know, stop it everywhere. That's That's what you need. When it's one base, though, it's very hard to get a drop-off on someone because there's so little for them to actually be looking at.
Now, this actually indicates confidence here. He's expanding to the less secure location. Terran's moving out. He has 3 Vikings. The Protoss has... Well, I can just look at the unit counting station, can't I? He has, what, 1...
2 Colossi,
2 Colossi,
1 Immortal, 4 Zealot, 7 Stalkers, and a Sentry against 5 Vikings.
He might have to cancel
a dropship, and yeah, I think he's going to have to. He's not in position right now to battle against this. Look at this. Getting hit by those Vikings. He's got to be so careful here.
And the question is, does he try to engage? The force field in the ramp can be very strong. Terran does have an opportunity to expand now. We don't see a command center up yet, though.
You know, he's going to have to buy a lot of Vikings. He does not want the Colossi to actually come down with that Thermal Lance upgrade, which has been finished, and just destroy his whole army.
He backs up. Does force that pylon to cancel as well. Protoss kind of stuffed into the corner. Probably just get a quick shot of this Terran expanding over here.
Yeah, realistically, you should have expanded behind. No reason to expand out front when you're that close to a Terran player. But he does have Thermal Lance right now, getting a lot of Stalkers to block the Vikings. And if he can engage this right,
excuse me,
he may be able to take out this army. But right now, really good contain by LiveForever.
Very nice contain here. Protoss is not even expanded to the back. You can see he even went with the dropship back there to take a peek, see if he could take out a Nexus. But Protoss has been intimidated. He's staying very heavy one base. Terran even taking a check here, as you can see with the scan.
Wants to make sure no shenanigans are abound, and there aren't. You know, just a lot of Colossi out. Not making any more right now, though.
And you can see what he's going to bring 1 Marauder back here. Just trying to remove the army. It looks like it might actually be effective. There's no sentry here. He could actually go up the ramp if he wanted to. I don't know if Terran's going to seize the moment. No, I believe that opportunity is now gone.
Loses a Viking, takes a lot of damage on another one. Can't be doing stuff like that next LiveForever.
You know, one thing about the Viking is while it has so much range, it's actually one of the slower units in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty slow. It doesn't have a lot of hit points either, but look at this. Nice poke there by the Colossi.
Yeah, that was a really good poke. Plus, he forced him to stim.
Now only one medevac
back here. He's going to try to engage. I don't know if this is a good idea. Immortal in the front to take some of the damage. Stalkers behind that. And I think this is a mistake. He needs to turn around, and he does get the Colossus.
Huge, huge mistake. Lotse looking like he's going to be in nice position after this. But he's got to save his Colossi. Doesn't look like he's going to.
He did lose
Vikings go down, but so do the Colossi. And now we have a lot more units. In fact, a counterattack right now may be able to win the game for Lotse, but he turns around.
He backs up the Kamikaze Vikings there, doing a great job. If the Colossus was alive, Lotse would have been a little bit more confident.
Yeah, I think he would have walked right over there and at least checked if he could kill him if he had that. But maybe assuming there's going to be bunkers and just wants to get his expansions up.
This is so smart. These dropships, medevacs, are empty. And he sends them over here to intimidate the Protoss into staying home.
Yeah.
Because he knows the Terran is fully aware that he is actually really behind right now. So he needs to sit back and defend. So he does a fake drop. That was really smart stuff to try to trick the Protoss into turning around, even though the Protoss turn around anyways.
Well, it looks like tech pattern going to stay the same for LiveForever. Just going to pretty much stay on Marauder Marine Viking. He does have the tech lab on his factory, though, so we may be seeing some siege tanks as well.
Yes, that's certainly a possibility. Siege tanks are pretty great in this matchup.
Yeah, if you have siege tanks with your Vikings, with your Marine Marauder force, they deal with Colossi really, really well.
Yeah, because the Colossus is always standing almost always on top of the army. So the amount of splash damage that you're going to have when you hit him is really effective.
Now, this Forge I disagree with more than anything I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know.
His economy is a little bit behind right now. He's got a bigger army. Why would you make this defensive Forge? Upgrades aren't going to come into play until much later because you both waited so long to expand. Poor time to get a Forge right there.
Yeah, he might lose this game because of that. There are a sufficient number of Vikings, but a second Colossus is here.
A lot of Stalkers, good spread as well.
Yeah, very nice. He's going to have a very good concave, and it's going to be LiveForever that's going to be in the convex.
Convex. Sounds like a mothership spell.
Okay, the Protoss is, I think, realizing that actually this is a perfect time to attack.
But is it? The Vikings hitting that Colossi, running away. Nice pullback. But Marauders stemmed up. They do so much damage. Still, a ton of Stalkers out right now. Can he hold it off?
The Colossus has been picked up, but the ground forces down here not quite sufficient for him to clean up there, so he has to back off. And that was one very confident Viking landing down there. Now, he could regroup, but is there another Colossus out just yet? Doesn't look like it.
LiveForever may be able to just attack at this point. This is a very strong army against just Stalkers. Stimmed Marauders for the win, man. Look at this. This is not looking good for Lotzi all of a sudden.
This is bad. He needs to target fire that Nexus. And wow, it's almost like he can hear me. There goes, target fires the Nexus. And if the Protoss loses the Nexus, the Terran can then retreat. And he's decided to engage instead. I don't know if this is a good idea. I think the Nexus, is actually going to stay alive. He should have just...
I can't believe this.
Oh my God. He's going to go right for the Colossus now. The Colossus microed back.
I don't think Lotzi can even believe this.
I cannot believe that.
You got to wonder if he's playing with unit hit bars.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm really, really wondering about. And at the same time, I have to point out that he has over 150 mana waiting for Chrono Boosts that he just hasn't been using.
Yeah.
So a little bit sloppy by both players here.
Well, tension is on here, man. It's been back and forth. It's been a little bit of a seesaw. I can't believe he didn't get the Nexus. Oh my God, this game would look completely different. Terran would just withdraw, make more units, and then attack again. But a huge blunder there. I think he thought he was going to win the battle anyways.
A lot of Marauders out right now. The Fire Bear guy, such a powerful unit.
That's right. That's what he's called in the Korean version, the Fire Bear.
Yeah.
There he is. Fire Bear guy's right there. Different bear guys in StarCraft 1 where we had the Panda Bear guy.
And,
I actually discovered, someone told me something very interesting. I haven't tested it, but apparently every time you activate the Xel'Naga Watchtower, I understand the animation changes even if you don't have vision of it. Which means you can actually tell if they're checking where the Xel'Naga Watchtower is.
Yeah, actually, a lot of times I'll look on the minimap and for some reason it will be up.
Yeah, that actually means that someone's touching it. So that's actually a cool trick you can use. Is that the Xel'Naga Watchtower shifts its animation even when it's underneath the Fog of War.
But realistically, you should be trying to check that all game long.
Yeah. So Terran massing up a lot of units. Protoss thanking his lucky stars that he actually still has this Nexus.
Also, kind of interesting. We see just Marauder Viking being made here.
Yeah.
By LiveForever. In the meantime, we have mostly just Colossi and Stalkers being made for Lotse. But Lotse needs a third base ASAP. I mean, right now we have 2 fully mining bases for our Terran player, or we will in just a moment as he transfers SCVs. And here we go. He is going to go ahead and take another base.
Going for the gold.
But the Marauders, Marauder Ball is locking down. Very scary.
One thing to note is that he doesn't really have a ton of Vikings. Excuse me, a ton of medevacs. I don't know why I said Vikings. Yeah. He doesn't have a ton of them, so when he stims, you have to commit. You can't stim and then run for it, or you are all your units are going to be so weak.
This 4 Colossi.
Oh man,
he's got to be very careful about targeting the Vikings.
Yeah,
wants to keep those Colossi alive. Very, very important.
And the Vikings going to come in here from a nice angle, getting some shots, removing the shields from the Colossus, making him think twice. And there's one coward Marauder inside the medevac.
Maybe he's just the leader, telling the others what to do.
He's a boss. He's telling everybody from above. Now, the Nexus was never actually made, or this Marauder would have taken care of it anyways. Terran's economy is starting to get ahead, but the Protoss' army is a little bit more intimidating. The problem, though, is that if he tries to engage around this area here, the Vikings can use this area to fire at the Colossuses.
Yeah.
Or Colossi if you're a Tosis. It's like, I say potato, you say potato.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
There we go. Okay, we have another moment where they might engage.
It's got to be very careful with these Colossi. Should really bring them away from the... There you go. That's the angle you want them at. Now walk in. Actually, I'm feeling like this might be one of the only times, but look at that beautiful Marauder spread.
Yeah,
that is going to be so ridiculous to attack into. Those Marauders are just going to cleave through everything in seconds. He needs to make him waste a stim. That would be a great move right here.
As you can see, another drop over here. He just wants to keep the Protoss' main army away. But Thermal Lance is pretty good.
It is, but that Colossus took so much damage right there.
And he slipped around in this corner. The Nexus finally taken out.
Down in just seconds. Huge move right there. Lotse counterattacking. He needs to kill this army and counterattack himself, or he is just gone, man. Look at that. Good Guardian shields, and here we go. The Vikings doing so much damage to the Colossi, pulling back. Beautiful pullback on that one Colossus.
Looks like the Terran army's been cleaned up, but the Protoss doesn't have much of an economy at all. He is going to get this last Colossus. And it goes not down. Now it goes down, excuse me. He's going to remake his Marauders, and he can defend this. The Terran's got it, but Protoss has a pretty sizable army as he's moving back. Vikings landing. He knows it's all about holding off this ground army.
And he needs to kill all this. It looks like the Marauder count is going down a little bit, but still more being made, just being stemmed right out of the bunkers to help hold on to this attack. And it looks like Lotse is going to have to GG shortly.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to hold this attack. He's going to be on 2 mining bases against 0. Lotse, peeled apart.
There it is, GG. Wow. Technical game there. Damn. I got to say, that was an impressive game. That was some very high-level stuff. And LiveForever just was solid. I mean, there were moments where I thought he made some mistakes, but, you know, he showed that he's a smart player. He knew how to finesse his way out of it.
Yeah, you know, I got to wonder, every time I see something left with, like, 1 hit point, do you use unit hit bars?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, too. Guys, if you don't play with the unit hit point bars on at home, you should definitely try it.
Yeah, if you want to be a competitive player, it's almost
impossible. We actually, Artosis and myself, when we were Starcraft 1, we still are Starcraft 2, like professional gamers. We actually started out without the hit point bars on.
Yeah.
Until somebody convinced us to do it.
Actually, you convinced me to do it. I didn't want to do it.
It was like an intervention and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when you play with the hit point bars on, you're going to know if, like, for instance, a Nexus has 1 HP. You don't have to waste that extra APM clicking on a building or clicking to find which units are weaker. And you don't have to even bother going to the Alt key. And then, I personally play the single player without it on, just because I want to see the pretty graphics and stuff.
Oh.
But
I guess you don't play on Brutal, man. I started this weekend on Brutal, lost my Gym Rainer in the first mission. I'm like, screw this game. I'm going to watch TV.
Actually, I was amazed how hard the single player is for that. But, I wonder about that if he plays with hit point bars on.
Yeah,
that would
because you have to finish that. He even engaged one.
Yeah, that seemed very strange.
Target 1 Marauder on it, and the Nexus is gone. The game's over that much sooner.
Now the good news is he still won anyways, and it looks like we're gonna get this game started. So let's get ready for game number 2 between Lotse Prime and Next LiveForever.